Nigeria Export Promotion Council, we're made to understand that the head of the agency was newly appointed after the pandemic, yes, and the investigation. But however, government system is a continuum. I must have gotten briefs on how 50 billion that was released to your agency were expended. Can you please speak to one, your documents and these monies that were released? Before then, these documents were submitted to us today. How do you think we will do justice to this? How? But we want to hear from you first before we go into this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Chairman, sir. And thank you once again. First of all, I'd like to thank this Honorable House for another opportunity given to us. We truly appreciate that. We have also tried to bring all the documents that we believe will help you to carry out your investigation. So we are open for any questions that will come up. That's why we came well prepared with some of the documents. Like I said, I received 3 months ago, and it was in the handover note, so I've gone through it, I'm still studying it. But the questions that will be asked, we should be able to provide information on that. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Honorable colleagues, Honorable Wifey.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for yielding the floor to me. I understand the background that this is their second appearance and that the chief executive is new on the saddle. Why they were doing their...
Sorry, sir. You just hold on. Madam, can you just go through your submission first before the members ask questions? Go through your submission. Because this document was submitted today, and want to, of course, hear from you. Explain to the Honorable Committee, then we now ask questions. Oh.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Honorable Chair. Excuse me. Well, Honorable Chairman, the Export Expansion Facility actually is a program that was captured under the National Export Sustainability Program. And under it, the sum of 50 billion was approved for the Nigerian Export Promotion Council to carry out activities in view of the adverse effect the pandemic had on exporting companies as at that period. And basically, we were given about 5 issues that were to address to this particular committee, which we brought the documents to answer to those issues. Firstly, we made a submission on page 2, from page 2, which is a summary or a brief on the program itself, a brief on the Export Expansion Facility program, and then some of the achievements of that particular program, which runs to page 6. And from page 7 is the actual work plan that was approved by the Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning as at then, which covered about 19 activities, 16 activities that were supposed to have been carried out under the Export Expansion Facility program. There is also a letter approving this particular work plan because it's addressing the first issue, the first query that was directed to the Nigerian Export Promotion Council regarding expenditure and disbursement of non-COVID related activities. So this particular page 7 to page 16 is supposed to address, page 7 to page 17 is supposed to address the first issue captured as expenditure and disbursement on non-COVID grants. Then page 18,
sorry. You are just taking us through your work plan and how it was approved. You are not speaking to the figures.
Okay, sir. Let me.
How did you use? How much did you get? Of course, 50 billion. How did you utilize this 50 billion? Speak to the figures, please.
Okay, sir. Well, sir, I will address the issue relating to the queries that was raised here, specifically on the figures. Okay, sir. It was indicated that we utilized 21 billion instead of 44 billion for the COVID relief grant. Actually, what happened was that we got
Instead of how much?
Instead of 44, that
Okay.
there was a balance of about 22 billion that was not utilized under the COVID relief grant. That all.
Use your mic.
Mr. Chairman, I want us to be guided. Sir, how much did you get as COVID support fund?
50 billion.
50 billion?
Yes.
So you now speak on 50 billion to this
Okay,
committee?
sir. Yes, sir. Well, sir, when the 50 billion that was disbursed to Nigeria Export Promotion Council was expended based on the approved work plan that we submitted to the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade, to the Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning. And yes, sir. So the work plan is submitted where it indicated the figures in terms of what was approved for each of the work streams. Like under the COVID, there was 15 billion for that. There was 5 billion for.
Sorry, sir, take them one after the other.
Okay, sir.
One item, 2 billion, one item, 1 billion. Take us round, please.
Very sad, we need to be guided. I think the investigation we're doing is basically on COVID. And the question, which, if I understand what Honorable Zakaria Kampa is asking, was the 50 billion released for the purpose of COVID intervention or other plans? That's what we're trying to know. The 50 billion, is it strictly for COVID or it's meant for other
Sir, yes, it's meant for COVID relief, but our activities cover other. COVID relief was just tagged COVID relief intervention, that particular item. But all the other activities are also under the COVID relief grant. They were activities approved for us to implement to alleviate the sufferings of those companies that related because of the COVID. So we outline activities that we're going to carry out as a COVID activity, sir.
But I want to ask, sir.
Yes, sir.
You know, the acts that constitute your agency give National Assembly mandates to supervise you. And in the situation whereby you have a total sum of 50 billion naira released for COVID intervention, and you want to split it, is it the only ministry that will give you approval or the National Assembly? Which one supersedes one?
So this one was a unique particular project that was approved by the National Assembly first before it was even released to the agencies. The National Economic Sustainability Program, sir.
Sir, can we have the document that speaks to that, the correspondence between the agency and the National Assembly on that? Because I want you to believe that when you are having extra expenditure or any special intervention, aside your appropriation, there must be an approval to that. We have engaged agencies and they've shown us, oh, we have this fund, we want to make use of this fund. Oh, National Assembly gave us approval to go ahead to do so X, Y, Z. That's what I'm trying to ask. Let's have a correspondent that speak to that, so we can be able to know. As you are giving us this, taking us through this document, we'll be properly guided and we'll be able to know where to speak to. Thank you, sir.
Well, sir, what I'm saying is that the COVID relief grant came under the National Economic Sustainability Plan. And the federal government submitted that particular submission to the National Assembly and it was approved for implementation. And it was based on that we got approval from the Federal Ministry of Finance on one of the components under the total package that came under the National Economic Sustainability Program. And ours was just a small component.
What I'm asking for, sir,
So the letter, the approval from the Federal Ministry of Finance, where is the letter?
It's here, sir.
Is it attached here?
Is it attached? No, sir, what I'm saying is that the federal government made a total submission.
Executive Director, please let me guide you.
Point of order here.
What's your order? Honorable?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Please, respected colleagues.
Please, hold on. There's a point of order, please.
There's a point of order.
Hold on.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. We have before us, what is it called? Nigerian Expropriation Council. We're here as a constitutional committee to know how 50 billion that was given to you during the COVID, how you expended it. We'll allow them to tell us how they have expended the money first, then before we come with our questions. So please, you have the floor. Let us know how you have spent each money item by item, the whole 50 billion. That's what we're supposed to do.
Chairman, I am Honorable Adedeji Stanley Olajide, Ibadan, Northwest, Southwest of your state. I think my point of order is from the point that I can see the executive director trading word with a member. Please, let's not do that. It's very clear what we are here to do, and we hold you the duty of care to make sure that we guide you through this process. Nobody is here to witch hunt you or to make you feel, irritable. But what we have here now is that our members are saying you are making references to approval, authorizations, and those are the things they are interested in. If you say National Assembly has authorized or approved something, you have to come with evidence to that fact. If you say that the ministry actually approved something for you, you also have to tender some kind of evidence to that fact. That is what I think that has been going back and forth that needs to be clear. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable colleagues. Nigeria Export Promotion Council, all these approvals are supposed to be attached in this document. If you don't have them attached in this document, it means that the document is not complete. It means that the documentation is not complete.
Every chairman, sir, the approvals for the release of 50 billion is there. So,
what page? So that's the problem. You submitted this document today.
We'll hand it over to the secretariat before we leave.
I should look for the page. Let's move on to
honorable colleagues, please.
Please, sir, turn off your mic. Sorry. Chairman, from what we can see here, I think this is what is called ambushing. You know you were coming here today. You brought this morning, knowing that you are going to testify to whatever is here, and you are on oath. And you actually swore an oath that every information is true and correct, including the ones that you have not attached. So it means that your information is not complete and your answers are not correct. It's as simple as that. Now, Chair, I would just don't want us to, we must digest this. Speaking to these documents without us digesting it is going to take up backwards. Since it seems that they wanted to meet the deadline, and that's why they did this. I will only request, Chair, that we give them the shortest time while we go and read this and digest it line by line. And any document, because we gave you 5 items and you felt like you have to answer to those 5 items, through the course of the investigation, new information might arise that you think we are not going to discover. If you know those documents we are not going to discover, put them in this document as an attachment and bring it back to us. Chair, that's my observation.
Okay. Honorable Wifey, thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. I don't know if your finance and accounts person is with you there right now. Is he? Yes, sir. All right. I have flipped through these documents. This bulky 300-something pages. The pages that relate to finance and accounts may not be up to 7 or 8. All this is just stories that are not relevant. Please, they appear like meant to consume time so that we don't go to the kernel of the issue. It's very simple. 50 billion. So and so was spent on this. This is the authority. This is the source. This is how it was expended. You go to the next. You won't even do up to a third of this. So I want to really ask Mr. Chair that they go and prepare a proper document. This is not even useful for study. If you flip through,
Thank you.
it's useless. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, honorable colleagues. Honorable Leku.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues and guests. I think I've just gone through the submission, and there is something that I'm so concerned about. You said the batch 3. Huh?
Honorable colleague.
No,
honorable colleague.
but at least there is something very, very important that I want to point out.
Honorable colleague.
They put a grant of 50 billion.
Hold on. That same page, we have actually looked at it, and from our observations, it is very important we give them time to go and come back, so that we'll go through these documentations very properly. Okay. And the agency is supposed to appear with Bank of Industry. Is Bank of Industry here? Okay, we're going to communicate to you at the next available time. You're going to appear before this committee. And we must have gone through your submissions. And if there are other documents that you have not submitted, one house, please, honorable colleagues. If there are other documents you have not submitted in your submissions, please make them available to the clerk before your next appearance. Okay. And Honorable Yangpa, please, the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think, like my colleague Stanley Adediji said, we owe them duty of care. I want to plead with us to allow them make their presentation. When we peruse what they presented, we could iron out all the missing documents from their submission. Then we ask them to resubmit. Otherwise, they may come next week again and we discover some things are still missing. This is one. The second leg of my observation, Mr. Chairman, is we are not in contention of how much they collected. We all they agree that they collected 50 billion naira. And we are investigating how they spend the 50 billion naira. Mr. Chairman, my colleagues, let them speak on how they spend the money. From there, we check whether it is judiciously used or not. Than for us to start saying we are looking for approval. They agree. We are not contending whether they collected 50 billion naira. What are we all again saying that they should go and come back? We should allow them speak. If we are not satisfied, then they come back. That is my own position. I so submit, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, mine is that I want first to support the position of my colleague here by my left, that it is very wrong for us to, just have a document today and start working on this document. It's not very proper. That's number one. Number two is that, having agreed with him, number two, sir, is that having even looked at the document as an addendum as to, what they should also supply us. Because we have gotten so many names and numbers of beneficiaries on this paper without their details. It is important as they are submitting, it is important that we should have the details of all these beneficiaries, numbering into thousands. Here, so it is important we have, yes, the details of these beneficiaries, numbering into thousands. That's why they are submitting. Thirdly, Chairman, I think we should have a checklist. I mean, as you submit, we need to run you through the checklist to find out whether you have done submission in line with, the committee requirement. If not, that should be the starting point before we now start, engaging them on their document. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Sandy.
Okay, just to align myself further with what they have submitted. that we should allow them to go while we have a proper digest of what they have submitted. And if there's additional documents, we'll have it before the next date fixed.
Thank
I
you.
support right.
Honorable colleagues, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, we have some, you want to say something? You want to speak? Yeah. Okay. Have you gone through the Auditor General's queries and observations on the COVID-19? You've gone through them? Okay. Please, we're going to give you more time to appear. When you're appearing, ensure that you resolve all the issues raised by the Auditor General for the Federation on the COVID-19. Honorable colleagues, you want to speak?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Let me thank the Honorable House again, Honorable members. Thank you once again for the opportunity. Let me say this. We have taken time. My apologies because we had to get all these documents together. Most of the questions, even the one that came from Auditor General, has been addressed here. I will plead with the Honorable to give us just 3 minutes to speak to some few things which we have that will also help you even when you're going through the documents. Please, if you don't mind, sirs.
Honorable colleagues.
Please, appeal to give us just 3 minutes to speak, just a general overview. If you want to send us back, we can go back, but give us opportunity to at least say something that will also help you when you're going through.
It's okay, madam. Honorable Billy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I understand the concern of the MD. You want to talk to us in 3 minutes, but we have a procedure. We don't want a situation where you start speaking and other questions will follow. I'm sure if you want us to put this in form of a motion, Mr. Chair, that they should be given time to go back and get this whole thing prepared. I see this more of when you go to the embassy and they give you a checklist. It has to be complete before we even start. Because giving us this information is not going to help anybody right now. And we want you to understand we are here to help you too. And Mr. Chair, this issue of ambushing us with documents on the same day we are here, I think we need to put a stop to it, not just for this agency, but every other agency that want to appear before us. This is an investigation. We must have all our information. If these documents cannot be submitted at least 48 hours before we meet with them, then we should put it as a matter of policy that we will not entertain documents on the same day we are meeting with any agency, because it's causing a lot of problems. We owe it to the Nigerian people to do a proper investigation, come out with a proper report. We are not here to winch hunt anybody. So, Mr. Chairman, again, I would want us to entertain this motion on the floor that they go back, get everything complete, supply us every information at least 48 hours before we meet. At least 48 hours, so that we can judiciously handle this situation.
Are you putting it in form of a motion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, and I remain Chief Dr. Billy Famous Osawaro. I represent the good people of Oriomo Nwode Federal Constituency. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Any seconder?
Mr. Chairman, I'm Barrister Jesse Okejo Onakaluse. I represent Nigerians, especially the habit of Lagos, Ocho Solomon. I hereby second that things worth doing is worth doing well. That the agency is allowed to go back and report back within 48 hours and give us a detailed information, working tools that we're going to use to be able to do justice to this matter as so second.
Motion move, motion seconded that Nigerian Export Promotion Council be allowed to go put these documents in order. Those in support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Please, you may take. Okay. The committee will communicate to you when you appear before it again. Thank you very much. Madam MD, what of BOI? Mr. Chairman.